Science is often thought of as a special thing that a very special group of people do, and it's sort of off in a corner on its own. And I try and push back against that. I think science is for everybody. And that science is part of our everyday lives.
One of the great things about cooking is that there are constant chemical reactions taking place. And when I was growing up, I was really fascinated with the kitchen, because in the kitchen, when you cook something, a lot of things transform. They change in their shape, their color. For example, if you're cooking an egg, the egg white goes from transparent to white. The yolk starts to firm up. And for me, that was just such a fascinating thing just to see unfold in real life. And that's what drew me into the kitchen, but at the same time, it's what also drew me into the lab.
Most people think of cooking as this great artistic endeavor, but it's so much a scientific endeavor as well. That bringing together of ingredients and the right conditions, and then you're adding heat and you're allowing heat to escape and you're raising things to certain temperatures. These are the words of science, but you're doing it in this way that's, it's thought of as intuitive and artistic and what have you. It's science. And it's also art. It can be both.
Oh my goodness me!
We'll just move in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so fragrant, and everything's just popping. When you walk into an Indian restaurant or an Indian home, you can smell your food. It's very visceral, the process. It's in your face. It's in your nose. I think that speaks to the experience where it's a part of your life and your culture, and you're a part of it too. There is a thought process which not only represents the place where the person is from, but also the science is driving the food, and it's all hidden in there.
We're not putting together a selection of food to be complementary and work with each other. They work against each other. That is really the kind of perfect way to stimulate your palate.
Okay, as a science person, taste this.
Taste the shrimp?
Yeah.
There are very few more perfect examples of a chemical reaction than a quickly seared bit of prawn. Isn't that incredible?
That is so good.
So what's the chemical reaction called? I just know how to cook prawns. I don't know what it's supposed to be called.
It's the non-enzymatic browning. It's basically amino acids. It's known as the Maillard reaction, which I think you will be hard-pressed to find a more delicious reaction. It's named after Louis-Camille Maillard, who was a French doctor and somebody that dabbled with chemistry as well. And so he came about this way of browning meat to specific temperatures so that they go brown, not so much that they're burning, but just so that you're getting just a golden brown. What's actually happened is the chemicals within these food products have gone through a transformational process to create a bunch of new flavour chemicals. So things like, the smell of searing meat, even roasting coffee. Oh my gosh.
The Maillard reaction.
We've got to love it. It's the tastiest reaction.
It is science, but we don't even recognize this as being science because it's so intuitive to us. It's very, very hard, for me to stop and tell someone what I'm doing. I stand and I cook. And I never use measuring spoons or weights. I'm just picking the spices and I'm adding it, and I'm cooking. I'm following a rhythm that I've seen for so many years with my mother cooking, my grandmother cooking, and then the food is cooked.
One of the things that I find so impressive about cooking all these recipes, they were developed by our ancestors through a lot of trial and experiments. Things failed, things succeeded. You learn and you move on and you adapt. And it's so marvelous that our ancestors were way ahead of their time.
These are things that all of our grandparents have done, but it is science. And I like that we're kind of reclaiming it. We're kind of, creating a bridge between the science and the culture.
Please, y'all should keep eating, okay? Yeah. I know, I'm being like the mother. Eat.
Science is itself culture. It's a human thing that we do, and things are discovered, experiments are done, the results are passed on, and everybody benefits.
For goodness sake, I show love through food, you know?